This meeting of the Manheim Township School Board is now called to order. Welcome to everyone here in person and those joining us online. In addition to the live stream, both audio and video are being recorded. Nurture and Challenge for Success is our district's mission. It serves as a reminder of our intent to enable every Manheim Township student to learn, grow, and thrive. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I have three announcements this evening. Although the change was shared earlier this month, I'd like to remind everyone that all regular board meetings, which happen on the second and third Thursday of the month in the district office, will start at 6 p.m. now. Secondly, our members of our community are encouraged to participate in board meetings in person or view them online. In support of both transparency and community engagement, recording of meetings can now also be watched afterwards on the district's YouTube channel. In addition to this month's regular board meetings, there will be a special board meeting in the district office at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, August 27th, which will focus on facilities planning. Next, we're at presentations, and we have a facilities update from Mr. Grenter, our board vice president. Mr. Grenter.
Ms. Woodbury.
Yes.
Can we just mention that Dr. Henderson has joined virtually?
Yes, welcome Dr. Henderson virtually. We'll be able to record his votes then when we vote. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Are we all set, Connie?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. Woodbury, and hello, everybody. I'm here excited to give this month's facilities update. As a reminder, I'm giving this update on behalf of our facilities team, which from the board includes myself, Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. Romano, and Mr. Landis. And we'll have more about the future of that team later on this evening, but there's some exciting updates to share. I'll start with the Brecht roof over at Brecht Elementary School, which we talked about earlier in the summer. The roof project began on June 9th, but due to inclement weather, the project has been delayed. We have an email with some of the details on that from our facilities team, but we're looking like we're on track for a completion in mid-September, and so I'm excited to see that project through. On the campus master plan, we can talk about some of the phase 1 projects which are complete. We heard a little bit about this again last week from Mr. Koch and Mr. Charles. The baseball and softball irrigation projects are done. The underground fuel tank removal is complete, and thankfully we had clean soil samples from there, so everything is looking good on that removal. And I'll also be thrilled to say that our track is done. I'm not sure if anyone made it out to the Greeting with the Blue Streaks event earlier this week, or have been around if you have kids playing football or other sports around the athletic complex, but I think the track looks spectacular, and I'm really excited about its completion. And finally, I'll just say the Journey Field Lighting Project is underway and looks like we're going to be completed by mid-September. And I know our athletes there are eagerly looking forward to playing under those new lights. So many thanks to everyone working so hard to make that happen. Related to phase 2 of the campus master plan, focusing on the Landis Run drive and parking upgrades, and then the construction of the maintenance building. Our approval to move forward with Harbor Engineering and JPD Architects, we approved that in June, and we heard again about that last week, at our board meeting. Our zoning board, Manheim Township Zoning Board, is actually considering those latest proposals this evening, so we're hoping that that goes well. Finally, over to Nitrower Elementary renovation and rebuild. Again, we've talked about this before, but we solicited proposals from on three options related to Nitrower. The first option was a full renovation of the existing school to address its aging systems and code deficiencies, with no additional building, a full renovation of the existing school to address aging systems and code deficiencies, with a 40,000 square foot addition to address programmatic needs, and third, to build a brand new 140,000 square foot building to address programmatic needs and to demolish the existing building. This board met to interview a series of architecture firms in July, and we've narrowed the firms down to 2 finalists, which are RLPS and the Schrader Group. And that is all I have for this month's jam-packed facilities update. Thank you, Mr. Barry.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Grenter. Item 3 on our agenda is about the roll call vote. Unless otherwise stated, each vote taken at this meeting will be considered a roll call vote, and the board secretary will record any negative votes or abstentions. Item number 4 on our agenda is for Manheim Township community comments on consent agenda and other action items. Residents, taxpayers, district employees, and students are all welcome and encouraged to participate. The board won't engage in discussion, but will provide follow-up if needed. If you'd like to speak, please fill out a commenter's card for the board secretary to collect. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes related only to items in section 6 and 8, and share your full name before you begin. Who would like to make comments this evening on consent, agenda items, and other action items? All right, I waited my requisite 5 seconds, and there will be another public comment period at the end of this meeting for any items. So on to item number 5, approval of agenda or agenda modification. Is there a motion to either approve or modify tonight's agenda? Would you like to move to approve it? Yes. All right, wonderful. Is there a second? Second. All right, thank you, Ms. Lamb and Mrs. Hoffman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries. Consent agenda, item number 6A. Items listed under this section are considered to be routine and are acted on in one motion. There is no discussion prior to the vote unless a board member requests an item be removed from this section to be discussed in section 7. Are there items from the consent agenda that any board member requests to move in order to discuss further? All right, is there a motion to approve all items that remain on the consent agenda? Mrs. Hens, is there a second? Mr. Grunter. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Skipping section 7, since no items were pulled for consideration, we're on to item number 8. 8A is for approval of the secretary's minutes of the board work session meeting on June 12th and the regular meeting of the Board of School Directors on June 16th. Is there a motion to approve? Mr. Boldazar, is there a second? Second. Ms. Lamb? All in favor, please say aye. 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 All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Item 8B is approval of the confidential student settlement agreement of student 2025-2026.01 SSA. Is there a motion to approve? Mrs. Hens, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Boldazar, there is no discussion of this confidential item. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Now we are item 9, our superintendent's report. Dr. Pate Hefty.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Sorry for the delay. Hold on one moment as we get going here. Okay, this is my first formal superintendent report, so I'm excited to share with you. This week we had the opening day of school where our staff returned. We had a fantastic morning where we really drove home our mission about nurturing and challenging for success, but then also with the goal to remember that that means all means all. So, and those capital letter alls are intentional. We celebrated our 30-plus year employees, Karen Quinn, Rafael Rosario, and then Robin Porter. And they did a fantastic opening with our, that did involve singing and rapping with individuals inside this room. And we're very proud of the musical talent that occurred there. We had Ben Hartranth, a speaker, an adult with autism, who has progressed through the systems in Pennsylvania and successfully is presenting publicly and talked about his journey through education. We had lots of very positive feedback from our educators. You could not left. His presentations are called Benergy because they have so much energy and excitement. So we had a great time watching Ben that morning. And I'd like to introduce to you this evening our Director of Safety and Security, Michael Dietz. Yes.
Wow.
So Michael is joining us having a number of experiences, and I'm going to stop presenting there for a moment. He came to us as a new director. We're actually newbies together. Oh, and it's presenting. So we're actually newbies together. I'm going to exit out of this so that there we go. And Michael came to us as the Director of Safety and Security. He has experience in law enforcement, safety training, and community partnerships. Since February of 2023, he served as the director of the Pennsylvania School Safety Institute, MSSI, you may be familiar with, where he led the creation and administration of a statewide training program, which our district actually uses for school resource officers. Before his work with PennSSI, Michael spent 10 years with the Lancaster Bureau. Did I say Lancaster? Right?
Real close.
So tried on that one. City Bureau of Police as a police officer and county detective. During that time, he implemented the Second Chance program and gained valuable experience in substance abuse prevention and intervention. Michael also served in the Pennsylvania National Guard and worked as a logistics manager in the U.S. Army. So he comes to us with a tremendous amount of experience and skills. He's been in the schools working on training. And something very interesting for our board to know, one of the implementations he's been working on is moving our staff into a new type of fire drill. And so Michael will share some really interesting information with our staff that we have not lost students in an actual school fire since 1953. Yeah, 58. And so it is important that we start training teachers to think differently in the fire drill process, to pause and assess what the actual risk is. And so it's a really powerful change that it adds to the safety of our district. So we're really glad to have him. Thanks for coming tonight. That's everything for my presentation report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kate Hefty. Now moving on, we have new business is item number 10. Items brought forward under new business will not be acted upon until the next school board meeting to allow school board members to have sufficient information and to allow opportunities for public comment. Does any board member have new business to bring forward? Mr. Gretcher.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Woodbury. I alluded to this earlier during my facilities team update, but I would propose, and I think there's support on the board, to adjust our facilities team structure to be a board committee, and specifically a board committee of the whole, of the entirety of the board, all 9 of us, so that we can, I think, all weigh in and engage at all the steps of the process of our facilities engagement. And I think particularly during this time of so many needs across the district and so many exciting opportunities, that we make sure that our board has a front row seat to be able to engage fully. And also with the committee format, we'll be able to have public attendance at those meetings and public comment. So we're completely open for the public to understand and provide their opinions and thoughts each step of the way in a way that I think is going to really benefit this board and the school district at large. So I know we may need to consider some of our existing board policies in order to enact that change. And so I would like us to start exploring what it means for us to operationalize that idea.
Thank you, Mr. Gunter. So we'll expect to have that on the next board meeting's agenda during a work session where we'll hear a lot more information about it so that we can take a vote on it at the voting meeting of next month. Any other new business items? All right, we're at item number 11, which is for board member reports. I usually say, let's begin with our student representatives, but we thought it would be so unfair to ask them to come before school has even started. So I'll be looking forward to welcoming our student representatives next month. Do any board members have from their committee assignments or partner schools any key updates to provide? Mr. Baldessar.
Yeah, I just wanted to report that the Lancaster County Academy is changing their east campus. It was at Hack. It now is going back to the mall where it all started, but they had a very nice space, nicely renovated. They spent all summer renovating. It's a more central location. It's also a little bit lower cost. The Hack was getting to be a very not positive partner for the school. It was disrupting schedule and the cost kept going up. So it's going to be a good change, and hopefully it's already leading to some, part of other school districts starting to participate. I think somewhere along the way, it would be great to have the director come, Amanda Griffith, and give a little update on what the Lancaster County Academy is, because I think it's something that I think we have 10 seats on that, and we rarely ever use more than 2 to 3, and so just kind of hearing her talk about the school and how we might utilize more of what we invest in there, I think would be good to hear from her. So maybe that's something along the way we could schedule with her.
Thank you. We'll invite her to do that. Sure, you can ask Mr. Baldessar a question.
So you said I had 2 questions. Is the change happening at the start of this academic year? And then the second part is, you said we have 2 or 3 seats. Is that in the student body?
Yeah, so the way that the academy works, it's an alternative for students who maybe the way that the standard school day work doesn't work for them. And so it's a different learning environment. So we have up to 10 seats that students from the district can go there. I think now we might have 2 to 3, but in my time there, we've probably never had more than 2 to 3. So it's just, and if you really go to the all means all, that's another way of having the all mean all, another approach, and it will be in the start of this year.
Thank you, Mr. Baldessar. Any other updates? Mrs. Hens.
I have the ID.
Sure.
First of all, I was privileged to share lunch with the NEF staff and welcome them all back and welcome new teachers there. So NEF is off to a great start. As far as the IU 13, those board meetings are regular flow contracts for services as students and programs change. So they're also waiting as we are on the budget, except that the IU relies greatly on federal dollars, so their funding continues to be in flux. But we are in great shape to start the year. They're starting at least 10 new classrooms, possibly more, depending on staffing at the request of school districts and needs of our students. Staffing is almost complete for professional positions. This is an improvement over the past several years. There is still plenty of room for anyone who would like to be a support staff member with the IU 13. The biggest thing is you have a flyer for their upcoming yard sale. This is at Rural Business Park. If you're as old as I am, it's RCA. But you can see the kinds of things that the money raised from this project will benefit. They have even secured housing for a family in need. And they provide essentials for their career training program. It includes here uniforms and clothes and boots and things the kids might need in order to properly take advantage of all that the IU has to offer. So it's a wonderful opportunity. You could set up a table, if you have things to get rid of, or just browse and do your part. And they tell me there's a contribution jar that's always full by the end of the day as well. So if you can support the IU, they support us. Saturday, September 20th. That's my report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hentz. Ms. Lamb?
Works today. I don't have an update, but it's rare that board members get an opportunity to. I just want to say congratulations to Michael Dietz. I've known him for a couple of years at the Borough Police in Lancaster City, and I know that he takes safety for the community very seriously. So just congratulations on this position. Thank you, and that safety is the utmost importance.
Thanks, Ms. Lamb. All right, I'm not seeing or hearing any other reports. Thank you very much for all that information. It's really helpful to keep everyone rowing in the same direction. Now we're at the time for Manheim Township community comments. I'll share again that residents, taxpayers, district employees, and students are all welcome and encouraged to participate. The board won't engage in discussion, but will provide follow-up if needed. If you'd like to speak. All right, I'll try not to do that again, whatever that was. But if you would like to speak, please fill out a commenter's card for the board secretary to collect. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes and share your full name before you begin. Who would like to make comments this evening? If you just hand a commenter's card to Mrs. Marshall.
Thank you.
And share your full
I
name.
assume I have to start here. All right, so my name is Mike Elliott.
Welcome. Sorry, welcome.
I'm a resident of the school district. I'm here tonight as a person who I feel this school district has greatly mistreated. I was given an offer to become your next girls head volleyball coach on May 27th. I went through an intense interview process, had references checked, and even had unsolicited positive comment from other coaches and athletic directors at the LLE, all given to your athletic director of Manheim Township School District. I was told my hiring was only waiting board approval and my clearances with the state, MTSD, and FBI. I got all those clearances in a matter of days since I was already employed by a district as a volleyball coach. I did my part only to be called by the AD on June 4th and told the offer was being pulled. Not because the board voted me out, but because a few people, players and parents, sent anonymous communications about me, false statements and exaggerations, all things that could have been answered by me and explained. Some could not because they were blatantly false. These words caused the district to pull my offer. I had a player from your team set up a website to find actions by me of yelling at players and throwing clipboards and breaking clipboards during games. I know this because I found the site. The player found actions as such, but blurred the coaches because they did not involve me. They involved college coaches and high school coaches from the California area. They never found another situation of me yelling at my team or throwing a clipboard other than when the team I coached at Ephrata qualified for states for the first time. I threw my clipboard into the stands. I was never given a chance to answer any of the charges or accusations against me. I was never given the board vote I was told I was waiting for. I was told, based on the issues within the Manheim Township Athletic Department currently, it was decided without fact to withdraw my name. You cannot afford a hiring that might have issues. The HR director wanted to spare me public embarrassment if the people who showed up at the board meeting had made comments and wanted to do it publicly. As I told her, they would never do that because they could not be anonymous. I know for a fact many parents of Manheim Township players who I have coached through club volleyball sent emails, phone calls of support, visited your district offices, and the athletic director. Even parents from Everett High School, where I previously coached, sent letters on my behalf. I wrote to the HR director, the previous superintendent, the AD, and each one of you on this board received an email from me personally, and no one had the common decency to reply. You all, though I went away in June, thought that this was over. This issue is not over. I demand an explanation of how this was handled. I know who the anonymous person was and will seek legal counsel against that person. I can take it against the parents for what they have said about me being patently false. I find it hard to believe that a district, one with public issues surrounding the boys lacrosse team and the fact that the coach is a mandatory reporter, because I was one, is still working despite the issues in that team. That was used against me. And I know this because I was told by the HR department that if this would have been 2 years ago, I would have been hired. But we couldn't afford to do that because of what was going on. The parents wrote, I was bad for the players' mental health. They knew the buzzwords. I took away the players' love of the game. Well, you have done that for me. I vowed to never coach high school volleyball again. When parents are on the team, coaches need to leave. I still have players on the team that I respect and think the world of and want to see them succeed. At my last interview, I even mentioned there are a few players on this team who don't like me, and I will have to deal with that once I'm hired. Well, they won.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Dr. Peyton Hefty would be more than happy to follow up with you after this meeting. Do we have any other public comments this evening? Seeing none, that brings us to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Mrs. Hoffman, is there a second? Ms. Lamb. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Thursday, September 11th, 2025, here at 6 p.m. in the district office. But recall that next week we do have a special meeting focused on facilities planning here Wednesday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Meetings again will be live streamed and recorded to be viewed later. Thank you to all Manheim Township staff, administrators, and volunteers for their dedication to our students and community. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay.
Aye.
The motion carries. We are adjourned.